Democrats getting the celebrity treatment. Photographer Annie Leibovitz reportedly spotted at the White House press briefing yesterday to shoot Press Secretary Jen Psaki for an upcoming magazine profile. Leibovitz shot Vogue cover photos of Vice President Kamala Harris and former First Lady Michelle Obama. Yet Melania Trump, an actual professional fashion model, didn't make the cover of Vogue once during her 4 years as First Lady. But Leibovitz did have time to shoot a spread of Trump nemesis Stormy Daniels for the October 2018 issue. Kaylee, obviously I'm starting with you on this. Now, I'm pretty confident I speak for millions of Americans when I say that I waited 4 years for there to be any type of coverage or profile of Melania, of you, of Morgan, of Sarah, of any of those strong women in leadership roles in that administration that were working tirelessly day in and day out and somehow looking absolutely stunning the entire time. But not only was there, frankly, a dearth of even profiles, not to mention things like Annie Leibovitz shoots, but there was also a frankly concerted attack and quite frankly vicious coverage of you all, both personally and professionally.
That's right. Instead of the glowing profiles, there were hit pieces repeatedly, time and time again. You know, it's just so sad that you have a fawning press corps like this, a fawning media, sycophantically covering members of the Biden administration. They asked Jen Psaki yesterday about Joe Biden's cat. I mean, it's incredible, the kinds of questions that they ask. The Washingtonian wrote a piece saying the problem, the awkward feeling of rooting for the White House press secretary. We need investigative journalism. We don't need fawning coverage. It doesn't do the American people any justice.
Exactly. And also, you know, you were a working mother during your time there. So was Ivanka. So was Sarah. So were so many of those women in those leadership roles. And yet it seems as if with the mainstream media now, they're just now discovering women that work and also have children in this administration and totally forget, fail to acknowledge all of you guys that had the same thing that performed day in and day out as working mothers in the prior administration.
That's right. I remember when the New York Times came to the Trump campaign headquarters and took pictures of all the women of the Trump campaign, because we had so many. I was pregnant at the time. I believe Laura Trump was pregnant. We kept waiting for the story to pop. It never did, because it just simply wasn't negative enough. Maggie Haberman wrote, as the Biden administration was coming in, that, you know, it was refreshing to see women like Jen Dillon, the head of the Biden campaign, talking about being a mother. Oh, wait, I quote tweeted Maggie Haberman with a picture of me with a stroller in the White House, because Sarah was a working mom, Stephanie Grisham was, I was, and Morgan Ortagus was pregnant during her final year at the State Department. But Maggie Haberman seemed to have forgotten that.
But the rest of us don't. Morgan, what is your perspective?
So I have a little bit of a different perspective. Let me just say, and this will surprise many Fox viewers, Jen Psaki is actually a good friend of mine. And whenever I got the State Department spokesperson role, she had been a prior State Department spokesperson and really met me and took me under her wing and let me ask questions. And so I think she's a great person. She's a great mom. She said that she's going to step away probably after a year because she has small children, I think, in elementary school. And I think a lot of women can relate to that. So I don't see her success as a threat to my success or Kaylee's success. I think maybe I just have come to accept that we're not going to get the same sort of accolades. And I think that's okay, because the people probably subscribing to Vogue and other magazines, probably, you know, they're people who pay to subscribe to them, probably don't have the same ideology as we do. I think what's more important to me is that, you know, my family is proud of me, that my daughter is proud of me. I think, you know, Kaylee, your daughter, one day, whether you were in Vogue or not, is going to be able to see these pictures of you working at the White House, taking her around in her carriage. And I think that is worth more than 20 profiles. You're raising a strong baby and a strong mama, and I love it.
Let me make one point. I don't care about a Vogue profile. I never did. When I went into the administration, I had one goal. It was to elevate children who are killed in our streets from the White House press podium. It was to talk about people like David Dorn, who lost his life and his murder was streamed live for America to see. These stories were ignored. These were the forgotten men and women. And when we came into the administration, and certainly me, I had one goal: elevate the forgotten men and women. And that is a legacy that I'm very proud of. No Vogue profile necessary here.
And Larry, Morgan makes an excellent point we all get behind. No one is talking about whether or not the women of the Biden administration, we're not saying that they don't deserve this coverage. We are pointing out the media's unfair coverage of all of the hardworking women in the Trump administration. So what say you about this consistent unfair application by the media?
Well, the issue is the double standard, and this is exactly why Fox News was founded and why Fox News does so well. We have a media that, because Donald Trump suggested that the COVID virus might escape from a lab, ignored a virus that has killed now more Americans than died in combat in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and the Korean War combined. This is a media that harped on hydroxychloroquine because Donald Trump touted it. And now it turns out many experts are now saying that it worked. And one suggests that 100,000 Americans could have been spared had hydroxychloroquine not been demonized like this. This is a media that is undercovering what's going on the border. Fox is covering it, sometimes even live. Most Americans are not outraged more than they are because they're unaware of what's going on our borders because the media is ignoring it because they don't want Biden to look bad because they're afraid they're going to lose the House in 2022. This is what's going on. It is about the double standard, and we've been dealing with it for a very long time, and we're going to have to deal with it for a long time going forward.
Right. Julie, we're being told to care about the cats that the Bidens may be getting at the administration house or the White House, not what's going on in the border and all the substantive things we've been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, first of all, we shouldn't be surprised. There is a double standard. This is no surprise. The mainstream media is always going to glow about whatever Democrat is in office. It happened under the Obama administration, and now it's happening under the Biden administration. But I honestly would rather hear about the cat, because whenever they do speak, I love cats. Cats are the best. And I mean, when they do speak, I'm not really sure we're really getting any substantive, information, because when they do speak on the border, they really give us nothing. And when they do speak on the economy, they really give us nothing. And then today the president spoke on jobs, but then look at the economy. So I'll go toward the cat. I love cats. I used to have 2 cats. I was a cat lady, which explains why I was so single through my 20s.
I love cats too.
It was tough.
I can't even put a good button on that. Was funny.